morning and welcome to Mount Vernon Unitarian Church. I'm Sally Hanrahan, a member of this congregation, and I will serve as your guide this morning. Whether you are new to this community or a longtime member, no matter what propelled you to set aside this time and join us in worship, know that you are welcome here. We especially welcome our visitors this morning. You are invited to stay after virtual worship for our social hour. And if you want to be in touch with us, please send us an email to info@mvuc.org. We are a community dedicated to welcoming the stranger and working for justice. In this time of increased uncertainty, when we are unable to gather in person, we gather virtually to find comfort and to recommit ourselves to the mission of supporting one another in our spiritual journey, working for the care of the earth and building the common good. It is good to be together. We welcome this morning as our speaker, Matthew P. Taylor, who hails from San Bernardino, California. Matthew has over 15 years' experience working in his local community, organizing and serving in pagan ministry leadership. A former board president of the UU Church in Riverside, California, he is also a founding member of Covenant UU in Southern California, and most recently, a regional lead with Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism. As an intern minister at the Rockville UU congregation, he is a student at Star King School for the Ministry and will be seeking ordination in the Unitarian Universalist faith tradition. For those who need live transcription, you can click on the button on the bottom of your screen to turn it on. Even though we are still worshiping together in the virtual world, I want to raise up the importance of staying engaged. I invite you to take time each week to look at the emails to see how you can continue to remain connected to our community, and also to check each Sunday bulletin. As is our custom, please mute your microphone and turn off your camera to allow you to move about without distracting others. At the end of the service, after the postlude, we will invite you to turn on your cameras so you can see each other and give a virtual hug and wave. Please wait until you hear the prompt to turn on your camera. I invite you now to take a deep breath with me as we enter into this time of worship.
Good morning, beloved. Our opening words come from a piece that I wrote called Calling Out All Souls. We are calling all souls, the artist, the atheist, the seeker, the magician, the joy-filled, and the heartbroken. We are calling all souls, the belabored and the beloved, the wise person and the fool, the organizer and the activist, the pacifist and the revolutionary. We are calling all souls, the youth, the elder, the ancestor. We are calling all souls to this circle of worship. We are calling all souls to come in. And now we invite you to get your home chalices and candles ready as we prepare to offer this morning's chalice lighting. Blessed be. Beloveds, this morning our chalice lighting is called On the Brink, and it was written by me, Matthew P. Taylor. We light this chalice for those communities on the brink, tired of physical distancing, tired of a pandemic, tired of the government not caring about its people, tired of being a part of systems of white supremacy, tired of complying, tired of losing lives, tired of crying, tired of begging for human decency, tired of protesting to prove a point. Black lives matter. May the kindling of this flame be a reminder that we are not alone in this. And may it be a beacon of hope for those still seeking a beloved community. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.
Would you please turn in your teal hymnals to number 1020, Woyaya, 1020. This is a beautiful hymn. This version is transcribed from Dr. Yisei M. Barnwell. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We are going, heaven knows where we go, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Let us join our voices in the covenant found on the screen and in your heart.
Love is the teaching of this church.
The quest of truth is its daily task, and service is its prayer.
To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom.
To serve life in community, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony.
This is our covenant with each and with all.
What does it mean to be present? By Rana Diorio, illustrated by Eliza Wheeler. What does it mean to be present? Does it mean showing up in class? No. Does it mean sharing something at show and tell? No. Does it mean wrapping yourself up? No. Being present means listening carefully when other people are speaking. Noticing when someone needs help and taking the time to give them the help they need. Focusing on what's happening now instead of thinking about what's next. Appreciating what you have, even if what someone else has seems better. Waiting patiently for your turn. treating each new experience as an opportunity, understanding that making mistakes is how we learn and grow, being grateful for your family and friends and telling them so, savoring each bite of your delicious food, cuddling with your puppy and enjoying how soft and wriggly he feels, and enjoying the warmth of the sun and the sound of the rain, feeling the sand between your toes, watching the rolling waves, smelling the briny seaweed, listening to the cawing seagulls, and tasting the ocean's salty spray. Allowing the rhythm of your breath in and out to make you feel peaceful. Closing your eyes and being still enough to hear your inner voice. Being present means living in the moment. It means realizing that tomorrow is a mystery. Yesterday is history. Today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. So tell your friends what it means to be present and spread the word. When we're all present, life can be much richer, fuller, and happier.
Mount Vernon Unitarian Church continues to share the plate with committed organizations that our members have chosen. For the first half of July, we will share our plate with Together We Bake, a second chance job training program for women transitioning out of prison, facing long-term unemployment, or experiencing homelessness. Contributions will be shared 50-50 unless otherwise directed by you. You are welcome to write a check and mail it to MVUC. You can also make payments via text or credit card. Information is found on the slide and in the chat box. During this time of music, we invite you to tenderly name in the chat box or silently the joys and sorrows that you hold within your heart.
This morning's reading is another piece that I wrote during this time of pandemic, and it's entitled, Let Hope Out. Rage is an act of revolutionary love, and so we love this country too much to go back and to be complacent, to be comfortable. And we ask ourselves and we ask our gods, goddesses, and God X, how do we let hope out? How do we let hope out? How do we let hope breathe when we can't? We hold loss, we hold fear, but we are not alone. We are together, one with another, praying together, one to another, praying for our souls, for peace, and for our country. May we rise above this moment and bring forth a better world. Blessed be, friends. Beloveds, I invite you to a time of meditation or prayer. So I invite you to sit in your most meditative state and hear these words from Liturgies from Below, written by Claudio, Carvalhaes. Be blessed, you who move. Be blessed, you who mourn. Be blessed, you who are meek and merciful. For you are the power of God. Amen. And now I invite you to just a few moments of silence. Blessed be.
Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice, roots of
Before I begin my reflection this morning, I would like to thank Reverend Dr. Kate Walker, Reverend Tyler Coles, Linda Jemison, and all the folks who helped to put together today's worship service. Beloveds, I am going to say something this morning that's a little uncomfortable. We have been stuck in a holding pattern for almost 2 years because of a pandemic. We have been stuck at home because it was unsafe to go out. We have been stuck feeling the rise of anxiety and overwhelm because it was unsafe to move freely as we once did. For some of you that are out there, this has probably been the first time in history where you have been forced to do something that you didn't want to do. And for some others, being forced to do something you didn't really want to do is an everyday occurrence. Think about it. All our lives changed within a few weeks. No travel outside of the country, then no travel, period. You must stay home because it is unsafe to go to work. Your children must now stay home, and you, as the parent or caregiver, since you must stay home, you are now their teacher. When we were youth, we didn't think that anything like this would ever happen, right? So some of us got jobs doing work with our hands, and some of us got advanced degrees thinking that we would go out into the world and make a difference. Then suddenly, we are mostly at home and must take on these jobs and skills we never knew we had. Suddenly, you are the teacher, caregiver, housekeeper, and so many other titles. And not that it's wrong to have any of those roles or positions, and it's not wrong to have these feelings of, what happened to my life? Those are natural. This feeling of stress and overwhelm comes when it's time to make a shift in life. And are you ready? We may want to blame the pandemic for this feeling of glacial motion. And it's easy to do when we have had shelter in place orders. But I think that this feeling of inaction or being stuck started long before COVID-19 happened. I can't pinpoint the place and time exactly, but I know it's been brewing. This moment that we are currently in has been brewing for a very long time. I mean, how long could we sit by and let the system raise our children, or let devices hold their attention? How long could we as a country ignore the overuse of our planet's resources? How long could we sit idly by as our air and water become more and more polluted? How long could we as a country, and by extension as a planet, sit by as our inhabitants face mistreatment and injustice? How long did we think we would have to wait before our just deserts arrived for the atrocities done by our forebears? By no means am I saying that any of this is our fault. But what if it was? What does it say about us to know that we just had to wear a mask and wash our hands, and the impact of this pandemic would have been greatly reduced? Let me say that again. What does it say about us to know that we just had to wear a mask and wash our hands, and the impact of this pandemic would have been greatly reduced? What does it say about us and our progress when there's a noticeable difference in the levels of air pollution because there are less and less vehicles on the road? What does it say about us and how we treat disabled and disenfranchised people when people's work-life balance increases while sheltering at home? What does it say about our commitment to real accessibility when in a short few weeks, jobs that had always forced you to go into the office suddenly made accommodations so you could work from home so that their bottom line wasn't impacted? What does this moment say about us when other sibling countries around the world are able to immediately ensure that each of their citizens are able to receive a monthly stipend so that their bills and economy wouldn't be hit as hard? And I question, what is being said to us when there have only been 3 disbursements of COVID aid, totaling about $3,000, when that is the monthly mortgage for some Americans? Think about it. Why was it so easy for the government to issue for some people these PPP loans, and for others it was a struggle? You all may not know about it, but as we speak, there are folks that are out there currently being pursued because they fraudulently sought these PPP loans to take care of their families. And of course, with anything, there were some who did it for clout. But what would you do if you were a year behind on your mortgage or 6 months behind on your car payment, and there was this impending seizure waiting to happen? How would you handle it? And if none of these things have happened to you or even crossed your mind, what is that saying about the income inequalities and the inequalities of generational wealth in this country? What is this moment in our history telling us about how we treat one another? But what if this holding pattern wasn't a bad thing? What if it was not some type of punishment? What if this feeling, this time was a reminder? What if this time happened so that we could break down the past structures that we had given so much value and authority? What if in this moment we are being reminded that we need to lean out for a moment and cherish the ones that we love? What if in this moment we are being reminded that work is not the priority? What would happen if we took this feeling of being stuck and we reframed it? Maybe this time is our setup. This is that time where we get to plan out what the rest of our lives are going to look like. This could be that moment where we reconnect with our primal selves and we remember that there is more to life that we can care about. Friends, when was the last time you were out in nature? Just noticing how the bees buzz or the scents of flowers on an evening breeze. When was the last time you were able to visit a creek or maybe make a trip to the beach? When was the last time you sat down with family or friends in person or on Zoom and exchanged stories about the way you grew up? If we can reframe what this time is, then we can see the beauty in this moment of pause and then go forward. Go forward is this divine mandate that we hear from place to place. And what if now is that time for us to move on and to go forward? What if we have been in this place of holding, learning, and reconnecting with ourselves as a way to reconnect with one another? And now, as the country begins to reemerge, maybe it's our signal to emerge as well. Maybe we have been the caterpillar in the chrysalis, slowly coming undone and reforming, rebuilding ourselves into butterflies. Maybe this moment has been a time for us to gather all the wisdom of ourselves and our ancestors so that we could pass some of that on to our descendants, whether by blood or relation. But I feel it. As we are preparing to join together again in person, we have learned so much. We have, as a planet, a shared wisdom of what happens in the pandemic and how we can come out of it together. We aren't perfect, and we aren't meant to get everything in life perfect, but maybe we are coming out of this moment better for it. Better together because we are returning to this idea of communal care, reaching out to one another over these virtual lines and soon in person. Maybe we will continue this practice to hold one another in community and to hold one another in love. Beloveds, as we prepare to go out from this place today, I invite you to think about some of the questions I've posed to you. And I leave you with this charge to go out and change the world for the better. So go forward in peace, and blessed may you be.
Would you turn in your gray hymnals, please, to number 131, 131, Love Will Guide Us. Words are also available on the screen or in your orders of service. Love will guide us, peace is trying us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Will you join me as we unite our voices to recite the words to extinguish our chalice, words known within our hearts and can be found displayed upon your screen? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Beloveds, our benediction today is also called Go Forward, and it was written by me. Go forward, a divine mandate. You can shape this world, change it, replace the hate, welcome in the radical love. The world needs you. The world needs us. The world needs open hearts and open minds and open hands, willing to lean in and go forward. So please, go forward in faith. Go forward to heal. Go forward in love. Go forward to become anew. Go forward and bless the world. Blessed be, beloveds.